I love trophy hunting. I've been doing it for around 17 years now, and I've unlocked a ton of platinums in this time. So today I'm going to talk about 7 that I think are god tier. These games aren't just about the grind for the platinum, they're unforgettable experiences that I loved for different reasons. Some tap into that childhood nostalgia, some blew me away with their immersive worlds and gameplay, and of course I really enjoyed going for the platinum, and I think you will too. Let's start with Crash Bandicoot. This is one of my absolute favourite childhood games. I've been playing this series since I was 4 years old and I'm still playing them to this day. The first time I unlocked the platinum in this game was one of the most satisfying experiences I've ever had with trophy hunting. It wasn't just about the grind or the difficulty, it was more about the memories and the joy of getting the platinum in a game I love so much. Of course, the music is iconic and it suits the game's vibe perfectly, but my favourite thing about Crash Bandicoot is its simplicity. It's a straightforward platformer that doesn't overcomplicate things. You run, jump and spin through levels, break boxes and collect gems, and that simplicity is one of the reasons it's so timeless. Whether I was playing it as a kid or working towards the platinum as an adult, the experience has always been about the joy of gaming. When it comes to the platinum, this list is a perfect fit for the game. You need to collect every gem, beat all the iconic bosses, and take on the time trials for a gold relic in each level. It's challenging but fair, with a learning curve that pushes you to get better without demanding absolute perfection, which is what makes this platinum so enjoyable for me. There's also a few miscellaneous trophies that you'll more than likely unlock naturally, for things like dying in different ways, spinning a life away, or missing out on a bunch of boxes. The Stormy Ascent DLC takes the difficulty up another notch. This level was cut from the original game for being too difficult and was added into the remaster and given 2 trophies, one for getting all the boxes and one for getting the gold relic. It's a really tough level, with the whole thing needing to be done in under 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This is a very long time, but it's a pretty forgiving one. However, it's the length of the level and some of the timing on the jumps that can really mess up your run. The most recent time I went for the platinum trophy, including the DLC, it took me around 10 hours in total to obtain, 7 hours for the base game and 3 hours for the DLC. I've now got the platinum and 100% around 5 different times, which is how I was able to get it done so quickly this time around. It's a platinum that requires skill and persistence, but it's also incredibly fun, and that's why it's one I've returned to again and again. The trophy guide gives this game an 8 out of 10 for difficulty and roughly 15 to 30 hours to platinum. This is obviously highly skill dependent and will be different for everyone, but whether you played this game as a kid or you've never played it before and you want to challenge yourself with a classic platformer, this is definitely one I'd recommend. Next up we have Ghost of Tsushima, a game set in 13th century Japan during the Mongol invasion. You step into the shoes of Jin Sakai, a samurai torn between traditional honour and the harsh realities of war, forced to adapt dishonourable tactics as he fights to protect his homeland. Visually, the game is breathtaking, with maple leaves blowing in the wind, light creeping through the trees and bouncing off the lakes, set alongside the devastation of burned villages and the aftermath of battles. This makes the world worthy of exploration for me. I've never been that into photo mode, but this game completely changed that. The world is also complemented by a minimalist HUD, and the guiding wind system makes exploration a breeze, literally. There's no need to constantly pull up your map or rely on cluttered icons. The wind naturally guides you to your objectives, and animals like birds and foxes lead you to hidden collectibles and shrines. It's an immersive way to explore the game without breaking the flow of it, and an easy way to clean up the collectible trophies as you play as well. The combat is deliberate and satisfying. Each katana swing feels weighted, and the stance system lets you adapt to different enemies, while features like standoffs and duels give you that cinematic samurai experience. There's also side quests called Mythical Tales that offer some insanely powerful abilities that really give you the edge in combat, especially the duels. So I'd go for these when you come across them, because you also get a trophy for completing them all. You'll also need to resort to dishonourable tactics by stealth attacking from the shadows. Mastering both direct combat and stealth is the key to being able to defeat enemies effectively. The Platinum Trophy is straightforward, with no missable trophies, so you're free to play at your own pace without checking a guide. Most of the requirements are typical of open world games, such as clearing the map, completing quests, collecting items, and a bunch of miscellaneous trophies. You pretty much have to do everything the game has to offer. One trophy that's beneficial to work towards early is Master Liberator, which you unlock for liberating the entire island by clearing out every Mongol territory. Doing this for each section of the map also clears the fog and shows every marker on the map as well, making it easy to clean up other trophies. Ghost of Tsushima has a 3 out of 10 for difficulty and takes around 40 hours to platinum depending on the difficulty that you decide to play on. It's got an easy platinum, a brilliant story, and rewarding gameplay, which makes it a must play for samurai fans and trophy hunters alike. If you haven't experienced it yet, there's no better time than now, especially with the sequel on the way later this year. Next up is The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, an open world classic and easily one of my favourite games in the series. I played this game constantly back on the PS3 and I always wished it had trophy support. Well, now it does and I could not have been happier, so when it dropped I bought it instantly. Stepping back into Cyrodiil after all these years was absolutely incredible. The world feels alive with desolate ruins, vibrant cities and interesting quests. Combine this with the epic soundtrack and it just pulls you right in. I even sat on the intro screen for 5 minutes just soaking in the music before even starting the game. The moment you finish the intro and walk out into the open world, you're free to go wherever you want and do whatever you like. That's what makes games like this so special. I spent hours just exploring, doing random quests, joining guilds and looting dungeons, and you can easily just forget about the main story completely. That's exactly what I did for a while, and when you do go back to the main story, that's also an incredible experience as well. What I love the most is just how simple it is to play. You pick a direction, find something interesting, grab some gear and slowly build up your character however you want to. It's never overwhelming or overcomplicated, and that simplicity carries over into the trophy list as well. Nothing feels forced or padded out, it's just a proper good open world game that lets you take your time and enjoy it. The Platinum has a difficulty of 3 out of 10 and should take around 30 hours to complete if you just go for the trophies. If you play on easy you can definitely get it much faster, but I recommend enjoying the game for what it is and letting the trophies come naturally. There are no missable trophies in the base game and every single one is tied to either the main story or the guild quest lines. There's also the Shivering Isles DLC which has multiple trophies for completing this quest line as well. There are 2 missable trophies here, but all you need to do is make a save before making a key decision during a quest and you can unlock them both in one run. Other than that, the list is clean, straightforward and really satisfying to complete. This is the kind of Platinum that I love. There's nothing better than playing a game without needing to consult a guide and just doing whatever you feel like at the time. It's enjoyable from start to finish and rewarding without dragging on. I'm really glad this game finally made its way to PlayStation with trophies, and I'd love to see more classics get the same treatment. If you've never played Oblivion before or you just want an excuse to return, now is the perfect time. Next up is The Last of Us Part 1 on PS5, an absolutely incredible game. It's brutal, emotional, and Joel and Ellie's story is unforgettable. I really enjoyed the voice acting, and the game has some really good pacing that keeps you locked in from start to finish. The combat is super gritty and intense, every hit has weight behind it, and even the way the enemies react to being hit looks sick as well. You've got a lot of freedom in how you approach each encounter. You can either sneak in quietly with a bow, set traps, go in guns blazing, or just take someone down in brutal hand-to-hand combat. You can also upgrade your weapons at a workbench, which helps you out massively in combat as well. Doing things like adding a scope to your rifle is a great choice, and there's also a trophy tied to fully upgrading a weapon. The Platinum trophy is straightforward and incredibly accessible. There's no online trophies and no difficulty trophies in this version either, so you can play on whatever difficulty setting suits you best. This time around I played on normal difficulty. After getting the 100% on the PS4 version, I feel like I deserved it, and I got the Platinum in around 15 hours. It has a difficulty rating of a 2 out of 10 and can be done in roughly 15 to 25 hours depending on the difficulty that you decide to play on. Collectibles make up the bulk of the trophy list. There's over 250 in total across the main game and the Left Behind DLC, but you don't have to follow a guide for your first playthrough thanks to a chapter select. Now you can go back and clean up everything when you're finished, and the chapter select even shows exactly what you're missing for every single checkpoint in the game. Just remember to go through the chapters in reverse order so you don't overwrite your progress, because the game continues from where you left off as soon as you load in. Along with the collectibles, there's some fun miscellaneous trophies to go for as well. Things like petting a dog, turning off a spotlight in stealth, or using objects to lure infected into attacking humans. You'll unlock most of these naturally just by playing the game, and the rest are really easy to knock out with a bit of cleanup. You should definitely platinum this game if you haven't already. It's a fantastic game and the trophy list respects your time despite having a bunch of collectibles. If you've never played it or you just want to experience it all over again, I think this is definitely the best and most accessible version to play. Bloodborne is up next, and even after all these years, it's still one of my favourite Souls-like games. I've 100%ed it at least 5 times now, and every so often I still go back for more. You play as a hunter dropped into the twisted Victorian nightmare of Yharnam on the night of the hunt. The streets are crawling with beasts, and the deeper you go, the weirder and more cosmic the enemies become. The game's heavily inspired by Lovecraft and Gothic horror, and the way the architecture, story and sound design all come together make this game feel as haunting as it is beautiful. The combat is super fast and aggressive. There's no hiding behind a shield like in Dark Souls. You've got your main weapon in one hand and a firearm in the other to parry enemies for a visceral attack. It's the kind of combat that's difficult to get used to, but once you do, it's super satisfying and rewarding. Even when a boss is kicking your head in, you'll still want want to get straight back in for another go. There are some seriously tough bosses in this game. Each one of them is unique, incredibly fun to fight, and requires different strategies to defeat each one. DLC bosses like Lady Maria and Orphan of Kos still slap me around even after all these playthroughs. The DLC isn't required for the platinum, but it's absolutely worth picking up because it adds some of the best fights in the game and challenges you even further. Now when it comes to the trophies, I think the list is super enjoyable. Defeating bosses, discovering areas and collecting items will get you a load of the trophies along the way. There are plenty of missables unfortunately, with some of them tied to different endings and a few items you'll need, but if you're worried about missing anything, you can always follow a guide to show you when to make tactical backup saves. There are trophies for collecting all the hunter weapons and hunter tools, as well as fully upgrading a weapon, so it's worth exploring and investing in your gear as you go. Luckily, the game gives you plenty of ways to experiment with different builds and find a playstyle that suits you best. Personally, I stick with fast attacking weapons because I like to attack fast and be able to get away quickly, but there's gear and weapons for all kinds of different playstyles. The Platinum has a difficulty of 7 out of 10, and while it can be obtained in around 25 hours, it's more likely to be around 40 to 50 hours for most players, especially if you're new or going in blind. It's an incredibly tough journey, but the game feels so rewarding to master that the challenge is part of the appeal. Bloodborne is just one of those games that stuck with me for years and helped this genre become one of my all-time favourites. It's a rewarding Platinum, and it's a proper horror fantasy nightmare that you'll want to dive back into long after that final trophy unlocks. Next up we have Rocket League, a game where you play football but with cars. I've always loved playing this game, but recently I've become completely addicted. It's one of those games that's super easy to get into but really difficult to master. I've spent over 300 hours playing it on my current account, and I still jump on for a few games almost every single day, even after getting the platinum months ago. My favourite game mode is ranked doubles, and that's where I've put most of my hours in. You're in a match within seconds, games only last around 5 minutes, and then you're straight into the next one. It's fast, satisfying, and perfect for when you're short on time. The platinum trophy is incredibly accessible. You don't need to win ranked matches, hit certain levels, or even grind online for hours. In fact, you can earn the platinum entirely solo, with a second controller or just by playing against bots. But honestly, I'd recommend giving the online a proper go. You might get slapped around a bit at first, but when you finally pull off that first aerial goal or make a last second save, it feels absolutely fantastic. The trophy list does a great job of encouraging you to explore what the game has to offer. You'll need to play and win each of the different game modes, complete a season in single player, and do things like win a match you were losing with 60 seconds left. This one's really fun to get online because I'll never get bored of scoring a winning goal right as the clock runs out. There's a bunch of miscellaneous trophies as well, and the best part is you can unlock most of these just by playing the game either online or offline. There is one trophy that you will need to play a game with someone in a party, but this is really easy to do because if you have a good game, quite often that random player will want to party up with you. If not, grab a friend and you can easily do it that way as well. Rocket League has a difficulty rating of 2 out of 10, and while the platinum can be done in 15 to 20 hours, you'll more than likely still be playing way after you've unlocked it. It's a brilliant game with endless replayability and a great one to have on your trophy list. Last on the list is God of War 2018, because you can't have a god tier trophy list without a literal god. I've platinumed this game quite a few times now, and every single time I've absolutely loved it. You play as Kratos, who's now older and trying to live a quieter life while raising his son Atreus. The story starts off simple, but it doesn't stay that way for very long and just keeps getting better the further you get into the game. The story is brilliant, the pacing is spot on, and the game is full of memorable moments, from intense battles to emotional scenes. This game has it all. I think the combat is outstanding. You've got 2 main weapons that you'll be upgrading throughout the story, and they both feel amazing to use. There's also different runic attacks and combos that keep things feeling fresh. You've also got skill trees, talismans, and full armor sets that let you tweak your build however you want to suit whatever playstyle you prefer. Whether you want to go for big damage, high cooldown reduction, or a tanky setup, Kratos feels powerful no matter how you adjust your build. The trophy list for this game is exactly what I'm looking for. You need to explore everything the game has to offer, which is sort of an ongoing theme for this video by now. It also has no missable trophies, which is always a bonus. You'll be completing the main story, exploring all the optional areas, fully upgrading your weapons and runic attacks, collecting all the ravens and all the other collectibles as well. Fortunately, the game makes this easier by showing you what you're missing in each area directly on the map, so the cleanup can be easy and efficient. One thing I really enjoy about this trophy list is that almost every single trophy in the game unlocks naturally while playing, because most of them are tied to actions that the game leads you towards, so you'll only need to guide your way for a few of the trophies. There are 2 side realms in the game, but one of them takes quite a while to finish. Niflheim is a maze-like realm with a timer, where you collect resources and fight off enemies. To get the trophy in this area, you need to unlock everything in the realm, which definitely takes quite a while, and it's the grindiest part of the platinum, but you also get to unlock some of the best gear in the game as well. My favourite trophy has to be the Chooser of the Slain, that you get for defeating the 9 Valkyries. The final Valkyrie boss fight is absolutely insane. Even on easy, she can wipe you out if you're underprepared or go in too early. It's the biggest skill check in the game, but it's an incredible incredibly satisfying fight that makes you think about your combos and your build more than the rest of the game does. I recommend using the Bitter Squirrel Runic Summon because this finds extra health and rage stones for you. God of War has a difficulty rating of 4 out of 10 and takes around 40 hours to platinum. This is a must play, and it's one of the best games released on the PS4. The platinum is really fun to go for and easily earns its place on this God tier list. And that wraps up this list of 7 God tier platinums. These are the games that I absolutely loved, not just for the gameplay, but for how well the trophy list complemented the experience. Whether they were tough, easy, or somewhere in between, they all felt worth doing. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you'd pick for your own God tier platinum list, and let me know if you want to see a part 2, because I could easily make more of these. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more PlayStation and trophy content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.